Cyclone Idai is now hours away from making a very intense landfall on the coast of Mozambique. It is still a Category 3 storm according to satellite estimates, with winds of 125 miles an hour and a pressure of 950 millibars. On the CDPS scale, it is still a Stage 7. That's a very powerful storm with a massive rainfall potential and therefore consequently a huge threat to land along with its storm surge and its strong winds. Catastrophic damage is likely in the landfall area wherever that may end up being. Here it is right now, Category 3 as stated as of 7 a.m. Eastern African time this March the 14th. It is at 19.8 south, 37.6 degrees east, which puts it 142 miles from Quelimane, 179 from Beira, 274 from Chimoio, 326 from Blantyre in southern Malawi, and 362 from Tete towards the northwest. These areas are likely to receive tropical storm conditions in the next 48 hours, possibly even further inland than what we're showing. Quite a compact cyclone, so we're not expecting a huge area to be affected by the strongest winds. As stated before, it's going to be the rainfall that's going to be the biggest risk from this storm over the widest area, with rainfall amounts of 500 millimeters or more possible in Mozambique over the border into Zimbabwe by the weekend as it moves inland. You may have seen our earlier updates a few days ago suggesting that the storm might have moved back out over the Mozambique channel. We're no longer expecting that. It looks as though the storm is going to take a straightforward track inland towards the west-northwest and dissipating thereafter. Sea surface temperatures for the short duration it still has over water are very good indeed, around 28 or even 29 degrees Celsius, certainly warm enough for maybe a little bit more intensification before landfall. Here's another look at the GFS model, taking it towards a general westward direction, landfall very close to the city of Beira, moving inland very quickly, weakening rapidly to be honest. It's barely visible by Saturday already and it's long gone by the end of the weekend, but still its residual rainfall may persist for a few days after landfall, and that could cause untold damage and misery for the whole area, which has already been impacted by the precursor to this storm, which has killed at least 71. Here is the latest chances of tropical storm force winds: 50% in Quelimane. It's just on the outer fringe of the storm. It will probably receive tropical storm conditions. 80% in Beira, 40% in Chimoio, 25% in Tete to the northwest, and 20% in Blantyre. One or two of the models suggesting maybe a little bit more intensification before landfall. In general, it's probably going to stay pretty much where it is. Maybe a little bit of weakening looking at the latest satellite imagery, which you'll get to see shortly. Wind shear is still near nil, however, so if it does manage to get another spurt on before landfall, it could possibly do some more intensification. Sea surface temperatures and relative humidity, not a problem. So this is how the storm's been looking on the latest satellite imagery. It looked excellent earlier today. It's really started to decay in the latest hours, especially on the western side. The eye wall really starting to dissolve almost. The eye is certainly showing signs of dissolving in those latest frames, and possibly an eye collapse coming up in the next few hours, and a massive weakening is on the cards. It won't have any time to really do anything if that eye wall does collapse, and I can't really see that not happening looking at this latest imagery. Still going to be a significant storm by the time it arrives and a huge rain threat. You can follow Force 13's outlets, the website force13.com. You can also find our YouTube channel. If you're not there already, you may well be. Good chance of that. Subscribe if you haven't. You can also find our Facebook page, search Force 13 all in text, and our Twitter handle. It's @Force13 on there. You can also help the project become even better by becoming a patron. You can see more information about all the benefits involved by visiting patreon.com/Force13. Of course, you can come into direct contact with us by messaging Fool13 on Discord at extension 9094 and Force13 on Skype. And our partners are also doing updates: Mateo e Cyclo Maurice on Facebook.